The last lightsaber winner giveaway wanted his donation to a children's hospital, so I donated the equivalent amount of the Black Series Force Effects lightsaber in his honor. The second winner will be chosen today on the Facebook page, so stay tuned. In Revenge of the Sith, we see Anakin take his final route to the dark side and fulfill his destiny at the Emperor's hand. With all his evil actions, such as sacrificing Master Windu, raiding the Jedi Temple, and killing the younglings, it seems unfitting for Anakin to be crying to himself, especially after his eyes turned yellow on Mustafar, symbolizing pure evil and submission to the dark side. Most believe that it was because he was sad about killing the younglings, or for betraying the Jedi. This couldn't be further from the truth. It's unfortunate the movie leaves out so much, whereas the books fill in all the gaps. So, the novelization, as you guessed it, has our answer in full. Our scene takes place just after Anakin murdered all the Separatist leaders on Mustafar, stepping outside to recollect on all that he had done. Our scene begins. After killing all the Separatist leaders, Palpatine's new apprentice had stepped outside the mountain fortress on Mustafar to gaze at the blazing lava rivers below. He would not mourn for the lives he had taken, but for the loss of his former self, the boy who had dreamed of becoming a Jedi. He was unable to hold back the tears that streamed down his cheeks. Anakin Skywalker was gone. Or was he? After all, Padme had fallen in love with Anakin, not Darth Vader. He had not anticipated that Padme, traveling with C-3PO, would follow him to Mustafar and refute the righteousness of his actions, nor had he foreseen that Obi-Wan would survive the Jedi Purge, and that the deceitful Padme would bring him with her. Despite his powers and years of attunement to Obi-Wan, his rage had blocked his ability to sense his former master's presence on Mustafar, until he saw the Jedi standing in the hatch of Padme's starship. He also never imagined that Obi-Wan possessed the strength to bring him down so brutally. So this passage is from the rise and fall of Darth Vader. This answers two things for us. Why Anakin didn't sense Obi-Wan on Padme's ship, but mainly our question regarding his tears. He didn't care so much for what he did to the Jedi. He did indeed dislike them and their dogmatic beliefs, leading me to theorize that he visits Luke in Episode 8 and tells him why he turned away from them and why he saw through the lies of the Jedi, which could be why we hear Luke say it's time for the Jedi to end. It was Anakin's detachment from himself that he began to cry for. A lot of people give Hayden a hard time for his acting. I think if we realize just how difficult it is to act when you're so conflicted, emotionless, depressed, and moody, then we'd see he did a pretty good job, especially in the scenes that are just pure emotion. For the most part, at least. In the novelization, it is stated that Vader recollects his detachment from Anakin was when he raided the Jedi Temple, but it can be seen here with his tears that he truly felt the break between his old self and the new Sith Lord he had become. I've made a somewhat recent video, which I'll have pop up in the last 20 seconds of this one. It outlines just how Anakin and Vader are two entirely different people, and how he and Palpatine saw it this way as well. Anakin was full of hatred. From the moment his mother died, he had a taste for the dark side, and it lingered within his thoughts ever since. That's how he defeated Dooku and how he lived the rest of his days until he turned into Darth Vader. In one of the Now Legends comics, Obi-Wan witnessed Anakin when he was still a very young Padawan, using Force fire against an enemy and burnt them to death. This just goes to show the mind frame and power Anakin possessed from a small age. I suspect this is why Ahsoka left the Jedi Order. She saw the flaw in the code and found her own way as a Grey Jedi, which we later see in Rebels. The book also throws a quick fan fiction idea at us. It explains during Vader's thoughts about Mustafar, he wondered what would have happened if he never actually went, or, in other words, left with Padme.
Come away with me.
He then leads to think about himself sitting atop a throne on Coruscant with Padme and his children. That would surely have changed a lot of things. I think it would make for an interesting fanfiction. You can let me know if you want me to do that in the comments below. What do you think of Anakin's crying on Mustafar? Do you think he was ever truly killed off and Vader took over entirely, or there was always a little sliver of him in there? A grain of sand, if you will. Thanks for watching today's episode, everyone. I'll see you all in tomorrow's episode of Star Wars Theory. Tune in to the Facebook page for more giveaways, and until then, remember,
the Force will be with you, always.